Today we're talking about YouTube ads, particularly legal ads or attorney ads. And we've all seen these kinds of ads, and sometimes they can get annoying. But if you need an attorney, they can be helpful to let you know that that attorney is available, and you can decide between those attorneys who you like. Okay, this is Idaho drivers injured in a car accident. Attorneys of Idaho.
If you're still in pain from a car accident that wasn't your fault, listen closely. At Attorneys of Idaho, we've helped hundreds of people just like you, people who thought the pain stopped, but it didn't. The truth is, your case may be worth far more than anyone's told you. Most people don't understand the true value of their claim until it's too late. That's why we offer a free case evaluation. Just 4 simple questions to help you understand your rights and what your claim could actually be worth. We're not here to rush you or pressure you, just here to fight for what's fair. Tap below to find the true value of your claim. Let us help you maximize your compensation and get the peace of mind you deserve.
Okay, what do we think of that ad? Well, there's a lot of parts to it. One of the things that I notice, and this is a pet peeve of mine, and again, we never want to criticize the attorneys or the people who are making this. Sometimes we tease them, but these are people trying to do good work. And so this is just advice on how you can make your ads better, whether it's about attorneys or whatever. So one of the things I'm noticing is that he's not looking at the camera. So when I am looking at the camera, I'm doing that, not because it's fun for me. I'm just looking at a little tiny, eye, right? It's not fun for me. I'm not doing it because I like it. I'm doing it because I like to connect with the viewer, and doing that connects me with you. It makes me look like I'm looking at you. It makes me look like I care. Now, this guy, he's selling me that he cares, but he's actually reading a script, or he's looking at his own camera back to him. So he's not actually looking at the screen on his camera, he's looking at himself, which is a tiny little difference, and it can seem insincere. So he seems like he's straightforward, trying to help people, but also he seems insincere because he's not looking at me, the person he's trying to get to come in. Because I want an attorney to look at me, because I know that they'll be honest. Now, there's a question whether honesty is a thing attorneys do. I got no problem with attorneys. Now, let's talk about his body language. He's leaning back in his chair. He's very, very comfortable, and that's fine. But is that the way to address someone you're trying to do business with? It seems like you're trying to distance yourself, or you're a little bit too relaxed. So I think his messaging is good, and whatever his background here, it's a little bit weird to have a mirror and a other thing, but that just seems like his desk. So that's fine. Now I want you to now, apart from the text of this, I want you to listen to the audio and see if it is listenable. Now, I've changed the volume because the volume's a little high, but this is the volume.
From a car accident that wasn't your fault. Listen closely. At Attorneys of Idaho, we've helped hundreds of people just like you, people who thought the pain stopped, but it didn't.
So there's a lot of echo, isn't there? So he's basically just talking in an echoey office. He probably has a lot of glass windows and a glass table or desk. And those are fine for visuals, but they also reflect a lot of audio echo, right? So it's not that great. It's a little hard to hear him. So I might consider being in another room, or you can even put like a blanket or a towel over the table so that there's less echo, or close the shades so there's less echo because there's less hard surfaces. Now he has his Attorneys of Idaho logo, so you basically know who he is. Now let's actually listen to
the actual car accident that wasn't your fault. Listen closely. At Attorneys,
if you've been in a car accident that wasn't your fault, listen closely at Attorneys of Idaho, and they're showing the Idaho Capitol.
We've helped hundreds of people just like you, people who thought the pain stopped, but it didn't. The truth is, your case may be worth far more than anyone's told you. Most people.
Okay, so B-roll, he's showing some B-roll of people working on things. This actually looks like it was his office.
People don't understand the true value of their claim until it's too late. That's why we offer a free case evaluation. Just 4 simple questions to help you understand your rights and what your claim could actually be worth. We're not here to rush you or pressure you, just here to fight for what's fair. Tap below to find the true value of your claim.
Now, he's a little uncomfortable on camera, isn't he? I mean, I think that he's a little grumpy, right?
Understand your rights
His
and
face
far
is a
more than
little
you once told
grumpy.
you. Most people don't understand the truth.
Now, I don't really want somebody who's going to be grumpy with me. I want somebody who's going to be grumpy with their opposition, maybe, but not with me. So he's talking to me here, so he's a little bit grumpy. But overall, this is, and they have the text on screen, I think is helpful because so many people watch with the sound off. What I don't see is I don't see a phone number or a URL. I'm just supposed to know that Attorneys of Idaho is the place to go, or I'm supposed to click.
Find the true value of your claim. Let us help you
Below,
maximize
there's
your
a call to
compensation and
action.
get the peace of mind you deserve.
But it didn't really cost him anything to add a URL. This is a 33-second ad. So, okay, what's next? Murray and Murray, experienced trial attorneys. Now, we may not see this thumbnail because it shows up as a video preview, pre-roll or in stream. So we may not see this. We never see this because most ads are also unlisted. But this tells us something, doesn't it? We've got three really quite different kinds of guys here. All guys. We have one guy who's wearing an Under Armour sweatshirt and he's got some sort of rose or whatever, I don't really know what that is, tattoo. And there's this guy who's a little bit more buttoned up, and this guy is casual Fridays at the attorney's office, right? No tie. So it tells us whatever you've got, as long as you want a man, we're here.
When you come to Murray Murray, you will be treated like family.
Now, I hope that they presume that I know what Murray and Murray is, because I don't even know what type of business it is to start off with.
When you come to Murray Murray, you will be treated.
It seems a little dour to me. Again, I don't want to insult the people who made this or the attorneys themselves. I just have different opinions. So I would test this against a different kind of intro. I don't know if this is a mortuary service.
When you come to Murray Murray, you will be treated like family.
And I don't know who this woman is and what she's looking at. Why isn't she looking at me? I'm the important person here.
We're here for the people.
Okay, so maybe it's a parade that the Murray brothers are in.
People of our community, we're here for the people of our state.
We will work for you from the beginning. We will work hard. We will work as best as we can.
So, did they even say attorneys? I think they did.
You will be treated like family. We're here for the people of our community. We're here for the people of our state.
We will work for you from the beginning. We will work hard. We will work as best as we can to bring you the results that you hope to get in your case.
Okay, it took me 21 seconds to hear in your case, but it doesn't necessarily say that they're attorneys.
Just call us. We will help you.
So it took me to the end, and I had to read it for them to say experienced trial lawyers. So unless I was very familiar and they were doing a lot of branding across all media, and then I just sort of knew what Murray and Murray meant, and I just needed a reminder, I'm not sure that this is the most effective. And it also didn't say exactly what they did for me. So I would test this script and the visuals out against other versions before I decided on this one. So let's play again.
When you come to Murray Murray, you will be treated like family. We're here for the people of our community. We're here for the people of our state.
We will work for you from the beginning. We will work hard. We will work as best as we can to bring you the results that you hope to get in your case.
Just call us. We will help you.
Okay, well, I think that this needs further testing against other versions of this ad. Okay, 5 things to do before meeting with a divorce attorney, Jacobs Burger LLC Family Law. All right.
If you're considering a divorce and you're worried that if you push ahead, you're putting your kids at risk, I get it. And I'm certain you can do something right away to protect what matters to you most. Find out the top 5 things you can do before you meet with a divorce attorney. My video will get you organized and you will have the security to say yes to your next step. Click here to watch.
Okay, I would have started by
Considering a divorce.
having this. I presume that this is the attorney working for Jacobs Burger. She may be Jacobs, she may be Burger, or she may be another one. I would have sort of memorized the dialogue. She's kind of reading it. It's only 30 seconds. I would have taken an extra week and just read it again and again, so you don't have to do this, and you can look at the camera, meaning at the customer or client, while you were talking. So let's see if her eyes match ours.
And you're worried that if you push ahead, you're putting your kids at risk, I get it. And I'm certain you can do something right away to protect what matters to you most. Find out the top 5 things you can do before you meet with a divorce attorney. My video will get you organized.
So she's and she's kind of, there's a lot of text. Let's just look at the text as we go by, and I'm going to try to read it and say it as fast as I can, because I think it's not coordinating with what she's saying. So I'm having to both listen to her and read something. Now, if I was going to put text down here, I might put 1 word or 2 words or 5 words, but not keep a whole bunch of different text. Or I might just have the, what's commonly done is burnt in captions of what she's saying, which just helps you understand it better and also helps people who are watching on a on a platform like Facebook or whatever, or they're just watching with the sound off. So let's just try to read what's said down here.
You're considering a divorce and you're worried that if you push ahead, you're putting your kids at risk.
Worried about what will happen to your kids.
And I'm certain you can do something right away to protect what matters to you most.
Right now, before you meet with an attorney.
Find out the top 5 things you can do before you meet with a divorce attorney. My video will get you organized and you will have the security to say yes to your next step. Click here to watch.
Click here to watch the free video. So this is kind of presuming a lot. This is kind of giving us a lot to do, unless it's presuming some people will listen to her and some people will read, but you don't really need to run the same video.
Considering a divorce and you're worried that if you push ahead, you're putting your kids at risk.
Let's listen to the content of her message now.
A divorce and you're worried that if you push ahead, you're putting your kids at risk, I get it. And I'm certain you can do something right away to protect what matters to you most. Find out the top 5 things you can do before you meet with a divorce attorney. My video will get you organized and you will have the security to say yes to your next step. Click here to watch.
Let's listen again.
Considering a divorce and you're worried that if you push ahead, you're putting your kids at risk.
So I like the text of what she's saying. I like the text. First of all, it doesn't really tell us who she is. Is there any point at which it tells us who she is? Are we supposed to know?
Considering a divorce and you're worried that if you push ahead, you're putting your kids at risk, I get it. And I'm certain you can do something right away to protect what matters to you most. Find out the top 5 things you can do before you meet with a divorce attorney. My video will get you organized and you will have the security to say yes to your next step. Click here to watch.
Wait for it. Is there any? No, at no point does she say who she is. She does say you can get your top 5, but even look here in the freeze frame. She's looking at a teleprompter, right? And you can tell people when people are looking at teleprompters that are not aligned, or even if they are aligned with the camera, because their heads don't move. Their heads move, but their eyes don't move. So it just feels not sincere. It feels like someone told her what to say. And that also makes her facial movements not really sincere, or at least I felt. I felt they weren't genuinely talking to me. They were managing the script, which, I understand people are busy, they're working hard, but it makes your body language also, her body language is a little forced. And in fact, the bottom part of this video, it has so much text, it's kind of covering up her body, and that makes it kind of insincere.
If you're considering a divorce and you're worried that if you push ahead, you're putting your kids at risk, I get it. And I'm certain you can do something right away to protect what matters to you most. Find out the top 5 things.
Okay, so now she's doing it, but it feels a little bit stifled, and I think that she could have taken an hour to rehearse, or maybe this could have been tested against another one. Now, I have to say, I make a lot of these same mistakes all the time, which is how I notice them. I often, on my videos, you can't see my hands, and people think, oh, I must be insincere or whatever. But hands tell a lot, and looking at your eyes tell a lot. And she may very well have the top 5 things, and there may be a whole other ad that we're not seeing. But I felt this could be tested against another video a little bit better. Okay, personal injury clients praise attorney Joe McCarran at the McCarran Law Firm, Accident and Personal Injury Law.
I have not had any problems with McCarran Law Firm. They are phenomenal.
Yeah, I did come to the McCarran Law Firm because we did get the result that we were looking for.
They will steer you in the right direction and help you resolve your issues and your case.
And you can get in touch with him, and he listens to you, and he takes the time, and he's a wonderful lawyer. He's great. I mean, I really learned a lot from Joe over the years.
I would send any of my family members, God forbid they needed a lawyer because of an injury, I would send them here.
I liked, it said, now it said now first we also want to know, they said the McCarran Law Firm here in text, but I think that they did say it a couple of times, didn't they? But we would want to make sure that they did say the name, because that's a wasted opportunity if they didn't. And it's not a hard thing to add in a phone number or a URL just overlaid right on top of the video, or have, someone jump in, Joe McCarran's at 555-2000, whatever it is, or website. But I feel like attorneys want you to call them, because then they can do their pitch right there. So this could have said McCarran Law Firm, and then it goes into, or if you've been injured, McCarran Law Firm, and then it goes into this person. Now I want you to notice this person here. Okay, so that was 3 seconds here, right? That was 3 or 4 seconds before there was any verbalization. And so that's kind of wasted opportunity. In my opinion, I think you should have tested this, or should test this, against a couple of different edits. Now, when this woman was starting to talk, she wasn't looking at anyone. I don't know who she's looking at, but she gives a body language that says she may not be 100% saying what she believes. Is she saying this because she's got a discount? It does say somewhere on here
I
that
have not had
McCarran
any problem.
McCarran Law, it says McCarran Law client interviews. Candy Simmons, I feel like, let's just see if her body language agrees with what she's saying.
I have not had any problems with me.
I feel like I'm losing a little bit. I like that they have real people. I think that's great. Now, I would have done, there are devices and methods of getting people to look directly in the camera. I know that this is more of a professional. I'm a little bit more favor of people looking directly at the camera, speaking to the customer. Who is this person speaking to? They're speaking to someone who's sort of saying, okay, we're getting you your discount if you if you give a good recommendation.
Karen Law Firm. They are phenomenal.
Yeah, I did come to the McCarran Law Firm because we did get the result that we were looking for.
They will steer you in the right direction and help you resolve your issues and your case.
And you can get in touch with him, and he listens to you, and he takes the time, and he's a wonderful lawyer.
Now, this guy's actually, so I study body language a lot. This guy's kind of trying to resist shaking his head when he says he's a wonderful lawyer. Watch him move his head from side to side.
To you, and he takes the time, and he's a wonderful lawyer.
He's a wonderful lawyer. He's a wonderful lawyer. He's not saying he's a wonderul lawyer. That's something that
he takes the time, and he's a wonderful lawyer.
I know he's taking his time, but I feel he's saying he's not a wonderful lawyer. He may be a wonderful lawyer, but I'm not sure this guy thinks so.
Great. I mean, I really learned a lot from Joe over the years.
I would send any of my family members.
Okay, over the years. So that means his case was a heck of a long time, and I'm not sure he was 100% happy with it.
Send any of my family members, God forbid they needed a lawyer because of an injury, I would send them here.
So I sort of liked this guy.
I would send him here.
I would put that guy first.
Because we did get the result that we were looking for.
They will steer you in the right direction and
over the years.
And this guy, and this woman. And I would have used a different clip of her. I would have just said, say the darn thing again. Or not used her, or just had B-roll over her shaking her head. Or, because remember, this is, they're starting, they're saying,
I have not had any problems with me.
She's sort of giving me the side.
I have not had any.
She's like looking over her shoulder to see if anyone's looking. So I don't think that's the most honest thing. So I would have tested this against another look. I might have tested the background a little bit and made the thing pop out. And again, just test a bunch of versions.
My family members, God forbid they needed a lawyer because of an injury, I would send them here.
But the concept of using your customers, I think, is fantastic. So kudos for that. I no doubt you helped your customers, but I think I would have done it in a slightly different way. Okay, Morgan & Morgan, PA, e-cigarette explosion attorney. I didn't know there was e-cigarette explosion attorneys. This is great. Let's watch the video. Okay, Morgan & Morgan. This looks to me like one of those AI-generated ads where you don't really do anything. You just type in some text and it shows up on YouTube. It's shaped like a short, so it'll come up in shorts or wherever you target it to be. I feel like an e-cigarette explosion attorney has so much opportunity, and this is kind of being squandered. Just even with the text, e-cigarette explosion attorney, just great text opportunity. I feel that's kind of could be tested against other forms, but you know, sometimes people don't have the time or the budget to invest. Okay, we've got some commercial attorneys here, but I think it's just the same type of pre-made AI ad. So I think it's. I don't know anyone who would click on this.
Injured in an accident, Apex Injury Attorneys is here to help. We specialize in personal injury cases including car accidents, slips and falls, workplace injuries, and medical malpractice. Our experienced team will fight for your rights and ensure you get the compensation you deserve. At Apex Injury Attorneys, we handle the legal complexities so you can focus on your recovery. Call Apex Injury Attorneys today for a free consultation. Your fight is our fight. Let Apex Injury Attorneys help you reclaim your life.
Okay, So I don't know if Apex Attorney is here.
Injured
I
in an
already knew what it was, right? I mean, it says it right here. But they said Apex Attorneys a number of times, didn't they? And so we kind of remembered it. I was more thinking, is that an AI voice or like somebody on Fiverr that they paid or a friend or whatever? It feels like a human voice. I liked how they had burnt in captions. This is probably the cheapest video of the videos we've seen so far. I'm sure this is under $100 to make this. They used B-roll. They used no attorneys that worked there were pictured in this. Somebody wrote the text. It's not a bad ad. I don't know if it was AI generated or someone edited it. I think it was probably edited by a human.
Accident. Apex Injury Attorneys is here to help. We specialize in personal injury cases including car accidents, slips and falls, workplace injuries, and medical malpractice. Our experienced team will fight for your rights and ensure you get the compensation you deserve. At Apex Injury Attorneys, we handle the legal complexities so you can focus on your recovery. Call Apex Injury Attorneys today for a free consultation. Your fight is our fight. Let Apex Injury Attorneys help you reclaim your life.
Let's count the number of times they say Apex Attorneys, because that may be why I remembered it. So let's go. You ready?
In an accident, Apex Injury Attorneys is here to help. We specialize in personal injury cases including car accidents, slips and falls, workplace injuries, and medical malpractice. Our experienced team will fight for your rights and ensure you get the compensation you deserve. At Apex Injury Attorneys, we handle the legal complexities so you can focus on your recovery. Call Apex Injury Attorneys today for a free consultation. Your fight is our fight. Let Apex Injury Attorneys help you reclaim your life. Injured in it.
So not bad, not bad. 4 times in 30 seconds. I think they could have even said it more. Now, how do I reach Apex Attorneys? I mean, you can, in the ad, it'll show a place to click. But I have a feeling that folks like this would like you to know their number. And he can even say the number. A lot of people do that. There's no reason why. It's not prevented from doing that. You can have an overlay with it. But let's just look at the B-roll that he used. I really don't know anything about them specifically other than Apex Attorneys, personal injury. That's not bad. Let's and they may show this ad to me several times, depending on how they target, depending on what I've been searching for. Let's just talk about the type of B-roll that they used. So we see they're starting with a police line, do not cross, and it says injured in an accident. So I'm going to call out what type of B-roll.
An accident. Apex Injury Attorneys is here to help. We specialize in personal injury cases including car accidents, slips and falls, workplace injuries, and medical malpractice. Our experienced team will fight for your rights and ensure you get the compensation you deserve. At Apex Injury Attorneys, we handle the legal complexities so you can focus on your recovery. Call Apex Injury Attorneys today for a free consultation. Your fight is our fight. Let Apex Injury Attorneys help you reclaim your life.
That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. Not bad. This so far is my favorite ad we've looked at so far today for less than $100. Now, if they targeted this correctly, it's not bad. And also, by the way, this B-roll here creates tension. Now, I would have started with the woman and man
in personal injury cases.
That one, right? That one right there. I would have started with that, because what they're really saying is they help you if you've been injured in a car accident. So it's dramatic. People have a problem. It gets my attention. That's what I would have started with. And there was probably a lot more B-roll that you could do like this, but you didn't need to really emphasize it. I think that the visuals did tell a good story. So well done. Let's just look at the transcript, because I thought this was well written. Injured in an accident, Apex Injury Attorneys is here to help. We specialize in personal injury cases, including car accidents, slips and falls, workplace injuries, and medical malpractice. Our experienced team will fight for your rights and ensure you get the compensation you deserve. At Apex Injury Attorneys, we handle the legal complexities so you can focus on your recovery. Call Apex Attorneys today for a free consultation. Your fight is our fight. Let Apex Injury Attorney help you reclaim your life. Well done. Okay, disability decoded. Do I meet the non-medical requirements for SSD benefits? Okay, if this was shaped differently, like square or vertical, I would say this makes not a terrible Facebook ad. It's not a YouTube ad. There's no reason why you couldn't have voiceover. But it also has elements of a TV ad because there's no person, even if somebody's watching YouTube on television, there's nobody that's going to read what this text is. So it says disability. Now, if this is the only advertiser that's advertising in disability and you need it, that's fine. Maybe their disability is hearing because there's no audio. Do I meet the non-medical requirements for SSD benefits? It's making me do a heck of a lot of homework, which I don't think I want to do homework. I just want to know who to call, and they didn't tell me who to call. And the law offices of Bell, Burton, and Johnson, attorneys of Michigan. I felt this should have been tested against one with. I mean, these graphics are pretty well done, and the soundtrack to the graphics, the sound effects, very good. And in fact, the music is it sounds like a great old movie. It sounds like the beginning of a great old movie called Chariots of Fire, if you listen. Da, 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 da. Does that make me think that my disability Social Security is going to work? I'm not sure I would have tested this against other ads. Okay, this is an interesting one. Your timeshare draining your finances, the law firm of timeshare defense attorneys. Okay, I didn't know that timeshare defense attorneys was a thing. And we can already tell by this clip here that a little bit about what Richard von Buena is telling us about what his services are. So one, he's got the flag in a lot of different places. He might have matched that with a flag pin or something, because he's clearly saying that he's appealing to people who rank patriotism as pretty much their number one identifying factor. So that might be veterans and so forth and other people. And also I can tell before I even look at timeshare defense attorney, I can tell you he's working with seniors, maybe people who are in their 70s or 80s, because timeshare is really not a thing anymore, is it? Is timeshare a thing that I didn't know about? Is it still a thing? I thought everyone just went to Airbnbs now. So, and we can always tell, now this is not a thumbnail, this is a screenshot, I don't think it's a thumbnail. He has a URL, which is actually just really hard to read, but he has it. He has a phone number. Let's see what he says.
Is your timeshare draining your finances? Hi, my name is Richard von Buena, and I'm a licensed attorney with Timeshare Defense Attorneys. Our law firm may be able to help you out from under the burden of your timeshare ownership and related financial obligations. We are not a marketing company. We are not a middleman. We are real lawyers getting real legal results for our clients. It takes a mixture of consumer protection rights, real estate, and contract law to successfully provide the correct legal representation necessary to eliminate the contractual and financial obligations of owning a timeshare. When you become a client of Timeshare Defense Attorneys, You have all the rights and privileges of the attorney-client relationship. Timeshare Defense Attorneys and its staff will work with you every step of the way to ensure a successful outcome. Remember, our law firm is not like most cancellation companies, where they will take any case and make almost any promise to get your money. With our law firm, not all cases qualify. Certain issues must exist surrounding the circumstances of your purchase and or the ownership of your timeshare for our law firm to represent you. Call or email us to find out about our one-time fixed fee, affordable solution, and our 100% client satisfaction guarantee. Timeshare Defense Attorneys, real lawyers getting real results for our clients.
Okay, structured like a structured a little bit like a TV ad and a little bit like an internet ad or a YouTube ad. I think it has some pretty good. I want you to listen also that I think that the music is good, but I think that his voice needed to be better. His dialogue, his monologue needed to be better. I think that there was a couple of ways this could be improved, but for what he's trying to do, I think it's pretty good. So one, we know we're appealing to seniors, and these people are in their, I'm estimating in their 70s, about maybe late 70s. And this B-roll, not a bad way to start. It's people in front of a laptop trying to figure something out.
Your timeshare draining your finances.
I think that his text is a bit too much. I would have instead just done burnt-in captions because, I mean, if you're thinking about it, a lot of seniors are hard of hearing, so they may watch TV with the captions on anyway, so they're used to that. And you'd have to rearrange what you're doing in the
Hi, my name is Richard.
Because when you come over here, now this area would have to be redone. I might move this up to here, and you can have this information. Who needs a www these days? I don't. I think you could have the phone number and then alternate that with the timeshare defense attorneys in the same spot, which would be right here. And underneath that would be the burnt-in captions. But again, I want you to listen, as you're talking to him, I want you to listen to the level of the music versus the level of the voice. And this is always hard. And he's not, it looks like he's mic'd, but it's not really sounding like he's mic'd. He's a little bit too much.
I'm Buena, and I'm a licensed attorney with Timeshare Defense Attorneys. Our law firm may be able to help you out from under the burden.
Do you feel that music is a little too loud over his vocals? I think it is. Now, here's a lot of text they're going to give us. I think it's a little bit too much. I think they might have just like a couple of words. Timeshare owner, question mark?
Of your timeshare ownership and related financial obligations. We're not a marketing company. We're not a middleman.
I think it could have been marketing, circle slash, middleman, circle slash. It's a little bit too much to read. Again, this person, whoever created this ad, did a pretty good job in my estimation. I'm just, saying if we were to tweak it, what would we do differently?
We are real lawyers getting real legal results for our clients. It takes a mixture of consumer protection rights, real estate, and contract.
Okay, so he's saying that it takes a mixture of legal abilities to do this right. And I think he's really skipping over this, but it may be too confusing to the viewer. I think you could do this with a little graphic. You could have a circle of consumer protection, real estate, contracts, and then you could bring them together, a little animation. But this is not bad, but it's just a lot to read here.
To successfully provide the correct legal representation necessary to eliminate the contractual and financial obligations of owning a timeshare.
So what does he really mean? He's like, people are paying, and I know people who have owned timeshares, and it was much more popular some time ago, and you pay a fee to be able to have a week wherever that place is, and it goes on until you sell it. But some people may want to try to sell it back to an exchange or just get rid of it. And since these things are owned, you own 1 or 2 weeks a year, you own it with a whole bunch of other people, that actually makes it harder to sell. And this guy's addressing that issue because these seniors have financial obligations and maybe fixed income.
You become a client of timeshare defense attorneys. You have all the rights and privileges of the attorney-client relationship. Timeshare defense attorneys and any staff will work with you every step of the way to ensure a successful outcome. Remember, our law firm is not like most cancellation companies, where they will take any case and make almost any promise to get you money. With our law firm, not all cases qualify. Certain issues must exist surrounding the circumstances of your purchase and or the ownership of your timeshare for our law firm to represent you. Call or email us to find out about our one-time fixed fee, affordable solution, and our 100% client satisfaction guarantee. Timeshare defense attorneys, real lawyers getting real results for our clients.
Okay, and they still have not said the phone number, right? I think they could have done better, and he could have said the URL. I think it's a lot to spell out, but they could have made this happen as he was doing it. So I think quite a good ad overall, and the only ad I can imagine someone having for this type of service. Hey, maritime lawyers. Okay. So if your boat's been hit and you've had whiplash, and I don't know what this is.
Maritime companies know who we are, and that we are relentless in our pursuit of justice and compensation for injured workers. Millions won. Injured at sea? Contact us today for a free consultation. Maritime company.
Okay, so this is appealing to a very specific group, isn't it? And you can do this with certain types of targeting. You might target, you may know, the top 20 websites, for instance, that somebody who's into maritime, that owns boats, shipping, that they actually visit, their top websites, and you can just target them. This is going to be a very small ad buy, even though they've decided to run ads. And I think it's actually a smart thing because you probably own the world on this type of niche. So I think good for them. They have an overlay that says VB attorneys. So you're seeing it. I think they could have said VB attorneys a little bit more. VB attorneys, maritime lawyer, VB attorneys, maritime lawyer.
Companies know who we are, and that we are relentless in our pursuit. Maritime companies know who we are, and that we are relentless.
How about not, instead of maritime lawyers know who we are, how about maritime lawyers know us at VB attorneys? Wait, what did they say?
Maritime companies know who.
Maritime companies. How about if you're a maritime company? Because me, Dane Golden, we ran a study of thousands of videos, and we found if you say the word "you" right at the top of the video, you're going to get more attention, better views, better likes, longer watch time.
We are, and that we are relentless in our pursuit of justice and compensation for injured workers. Millions won. Injured at sea? Contact us today for a free consultation.
So if you're injured at sea, all right. So I guess it's a personal injury attorneys for people who have boats. Now, that I don't know what that means because I am not in this field. I don't know what personal injury of boats are. So that mean you work on a freighter, or are you saying I own a sailboat? So I feel you could have done a little bit more work to explain to me who this is. And you could have started with injured at sea. And I think that this phone number could have been on the whole time. Watch again.
Maritime companies know who we are. And maritime companies know who we are, and that we are relentless in our pursuit of justice and compensation for injured workers. Millions won. Injured at sea? Contact us today for a free consultation.
All right. Okay, I was looking at this one earlier. We're going to end on this one, and I think that there's a lot of good things and challenges with this video. Best auto accident lawyers in Southern California, Sweet James Accident Attorneys. And I imagine that they do a lot of television ads too. But let's just take a look at this ad. Let's watch it all the way through, 51 seconds.
If you've been injured in an accident, your case might be worth a lot more than you think. Every week, we'd recover millions of dollars for our clients and deliver sweet justice.
You've seen us everywhere. The attorneys here at Sweet James are your hometown attorneys.
There's a reason why thousands of people trust us to handle their personal injury case. It's because we have a 98% winning record.
Talking to the right attorney can mean the difference between $20,000 and $200,000, and you pay nothing until we win.
We have settled over $1 billion for our clients and have been awarded best attorneys in America.
Sweet James puts compassion, expertise, and a dedication to justice in each and every case. Experience counts. Results matter. Call us now for a free consultation.
Okay, so if you're not from Southern California and don't know these guys or just haven't seen the ads or whatever, I think that they're doing a lot of really interesting things here. Some I like and some I would do differently or test against other ones, but I'm betting they're running a lot of different kinds of ads and they're just having a variety of ads. Now, I thought it was interesting that they started, I'm getting out of the elevator, but for my purpose, I think you really want to be speaking in the first 0.1 seconds. And if people missed this part, they didn't actually see that there was an elevator with their logo on it. And I'm not sure it delivers in the way that they hope. Let's take a look. Okay, so now we're already 1 second in. He hasn't said anything. I'm supposed to like them because they have an elevator with their name on it. I don't think that's the best part of this ad.
If you've been injured in an accident, your case might be worth a lot more than.
So they have burnt-in captions, and I think that that's helpful. I may have done a slightly different font. I think it's not 100% easy to read. I think you can do the bouncing text where the text is actually colored as each word goes by. Now here, he's kind of not lit that well. I think that, you're in the natural environment, but it's a little hard to see.
We'd recover millions of dollars for our clients and deliver sweet.
And I think that, I think the idea of moving and walking as they do in this video is a really nice idea. It's sort of like Aaron, whatever, the director, I forgot his name for the moment. The walk and talk, right? And that's not a bad thing. I might raise the camera just a little bit. I don't know. Is this the right height?
Justice.
You've seen us everywhere. The attorneys here at Sweet James are your hometown attorneys.
There's a reason why thousands of people trust us to handle their personal injury case. It's because we have a 98% winning record.
Talking to the right attorney can mean the difference between $20,000 and $200,000, and you pay nothing until we win.
We have settled over $1 billion for our clients and have been awarded best attorneys in America.
Sweet James.
Okay, I'm going back here. So
justice.
You've seen us.
I think this is interesting here. Now you
every week we cover.
Wow, I'm walking. We have an entryway and we have an office, and that's sort of interesting. I think the movement is what sells here, not the beauty.
For our clients and deliver sweet justice.
You've seen us everywhere.
Here, I'm just looking at an office, and that's fine. But the whiteness of it, I think, is it shows. Okay, you got people working there, but it's not really contrasting with these people very well. And these people are selling themselves as the absolute best attorneys. I think of attorneys with wood walls, and they have wood walls.
The attorneys here at Sweet James are your hometown attorneys.
There's a reason why thousands of people trust us to handle their personal injury case. It's because we have a 98% winning record.
These people get to be in the wood walls, the people with ties and jackets. These people
to handle their personal
have
injury.
different types
Sweet
of
Dreams
suits,
are
and
your
they're not
hometown
permitted
attorneys.
There's
to
a reason why
have
thousands of people
wooden
trust us to handle their
walls
personal
around
injury
them.
case. It's
So
because
these
we
are
have a
basically workers.
98% winning
The
record.
bosses
Talking to the
show
right
up in
attorney
court
can mean the
here.
difference between 20,000 and 200,000.
So I like the idea of movement. I think you could have done a lot more in this room here, or just different shots with this type of background. And I do like
$1,000.
that it
And you pay
has the
nothing until we
Sweet
win.
James
We have
logo. How come nobody's working at the front desk? Maybe somebody, maybe I would like to know if that's a good idea to have that. But I just thought something was really funny. Now, this woman who's speaking second, we presume she's also an attorney, but possibly not the primary attorney because she's speaking second, but she's also doing something which is sort of waiting for her cue. And she kind of gives this attorney the side eye. Just watch
It's because
her.
we have a 98 winning record.
Talking to the right attorney can mean the difference between $20,000 and $200,000. And you pay nothing until we win.
Side
We
eye.
have settled
Now
over
it's her
$1
turn.
billion.
So she was kind of waiting for him to talk. And she was also walking with her arms behind her
between
back.
20,000
And
and
it's hard to know what you're doing, but I like to, when I can, like to have natural arm movements. And it's always hard when you're on camera. But I'm not sure that behind the back was the most honest body language. Now,
$1 billion
I want to
for
point
our
out
clients and have
that this gentleman, now you can't see it here as much, is he's having this body language, which is it's in body language studies, it's called the steeple, because it's sometimes like this, sometimes like this, sometimes like this, sometimes it's the low steeple. And people are commonly encouraged by video people to use that body language, but a lot of body language experts actually say, yes, it shows confidence, but it also shows arrogance. And that's not always the body language you want to show with someone you're trying to say, I want somebody who's going to listen to me. Now, I did think it was interesting here that they said we are the
been
best in
awarded
America.
best attorneys in America.
Best in America. Doesn't say by who. Who is it by? Now, is that the person you want to hire who's claiming that they're the best in America? Who says?
For our clients and have been awarded best attorneys in America.
Awarded best attorneys in America. They're not showing me an award. They're not telling me what year it was.
Sweet James puts compassion, expertise, and a dedication to justice in each and every case. Experience counts. Results matter.
I feel
Call
he's
us now
selling it
for
a little too hard.
free consultation.
Now they may be very good, and I think with a name like Sweet James, it's very memorable. And so when you think you need help, you'll probably say, "I will call Sweet James." It sounds like a good name, and it's very courageous to have a name that is not a traditional law firm name, and that's memorable. So that's our YouTube ads school for today and the attorney ads. Hope you enjoyed it. My name is Dane Golden from VidAction. I'm a YouTube ad buyer and YouTube strategist, and I help people with their YouTube ads and their YouTube channels. And I hope you will come back again. I'll see you in the next video.